Baker with SewEndipitous. Cannot wait to share something with you today. It's kind of bittersweet, but I hope everybody takes the fun, sweet side of it. But oftentimes, I know I do. I'm sure you all find that you're faced with the fact that maybe a quilty friend has passed away, or a family member that quilted or crafted, whatever. And you know, sometimes the family does not understand everything in our sewing rooms, right? They just look at it and they're like, ugh, get this out of here. And they'll go dump it off at Goodwill, or they'll throw it away because there's no one in the family to pass on the love of quilting in which that person had, or whatever craft. Anyway, I love going and saving things out of estate sales or from a quilty friend or family member that has passed on. And it's not the fabric that I go after, it's not even the notions and stuff. It's usually something that is either a project unfinished or something very unique. And the reason I like to do that is because I want it to come back to a home that will cherish it just as much as I'm sure that person did. So a few months ago, we had a past guild member's son reach out to us and let us know that he would be getting rid of all of his mother's stuff. He just wanted it gone. The sooner the better. And if no one come and got anything, he was basically going to sell it for pennies or take it to Goodwill and drop it off. And so I felt really bad for him because he was really, really overwhelmed. He had no sisters. There was no one in the family that could really understand and appreciate what this lady had collected over the years. So her name was Sherry Yarnish. And unfortunately, I never had the pleasure to meet her. If I did, I do not remember it. But I was one of the first ones into her sewing room. And I spent hours, and during that time I cried, I laughed, I smiled, because I got a sense of her and a feeling for her, and it was just so interesting to see all the similarities between her and me in regards to some of the things that has been her sewing or quilting journey over the years. And you could see it, go through phases. The 70s, well, actually some of her stuff was back from the 40s and 50s. Simply amazing. But anyway, decade by decade, absolutely, like I said, a bittersweet moment. I really could feel her in the room, and it was just so nice that her son allowed me to just be in her room, like I said, for hours and feel her. So there was only a few things that I took away. Like I said at the beginning of this video, an unfinished project will really call to me. And that's because I'm a person, I don't like things unfinished. And I always feel that it's extremely sad when someone was sewing or crocheting or knitting something that they did not get to finish. So I like to finish that. Sometimes it's things I keep, and sometimes it's things, if I can find the family, I will return it back to the family and ask, do they want to have, or maybe I will gift it to someone that I know will cherish it just as much. But there was a couple of things that I walked away with when I left her home that day. And one of them I want to share with you today. So I was super excited for the find, but I'm also more attached than ever because of the finished product of it. So I'm sure you can see these lovely ladies behind me. So in going through her sewing room, on the top of one of her shelves, like way up, these three ladies sit. I was instantly attracted to them because why? They were old. And anyone that knows me knows that I am a major old soul. Anything old and vintage, I absolutely love. The days of the ballroom gowns, and this is what women wore all day long, whether they were a fancy version or a work version dress. I absolutely love that time period. So these girls called to me, but they called to me more so because they were untouched and finished. I do not know the history on these girls because the son did not know. And there was no notes attached or anything because they were not in a bag or a box. So I'm not sure where Sherry got those or what her intent was with them. Anyway, so when I seen them up at the top of the shelf, they did not have these beautiful dresses in which you see on them. They were all naked, if you will, and you can tell they were extremely old and used over the years. These were initially pincushion girls. And so at some point, I don't know if when Sherry got them, maybe they still had their dress on and she took them off because her intent was to redo them. I have no clue. But what I do know is, even with them all naked, they were still so beautiful and they just needed a little bit of love. So, needless to say, these ladies had to come home with me, right? Well, what happened was is I got so, because I seen them right when I first got there, I got so overwhelmed with emotions and everything, I totally forgot about the young ladies and I left them. And oh my gosh, after I got home, I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, my girls. And my best friend, she had went with me and she's like, what are you talking about? And so I was telling her about him and she's like, well, why don't you call him back and, go get them? And I said, well, I wasn't going to get all three. I was only going to get one because I wanted other people to obviously have a chance to get some. But I'm like, I don't want to bother him. I'm not going to call him back. Well, the next day, my best friend surprised me. She did not have his contact information or anything, but she was able to track him down, phone him, and ask, could she come and pick up one of these ladies? And of course, the sweet gentleman he is, he's like, yes, come on. And so supposedly when she got there, he had them bagged up and he wanted me to have all three of them. I cried like a baby when, one, my best friend surprised me with something that I really wanted, but I would not go back and get. And then two, that he felt such a connection with me that he really wanted me to have not just one, but all three. So once I got all three, now the decision is what to do with them, right? My goal was I wanted to share this with my mother. My mother used to be a seamstress, made beautiful dresses, tons of clothes, three-piece suits, whatever. I have never sewed clothes in my life. So looking at these, the thought of making a skirt was way overwhelming for me. But I thought, okay, I'm going to give mom one because I wanted her to put a skirt on her. So it was something that I would have that my mom made for years and years to come. And then I was going to do one because I wanted to test my skills. And then the third one, we would just see what happened once we got there. So I ended up sending one home with my mom. She came and selected some fabric out of my personal stash and some remnants here in the shop. And so she ends up a week or some later, she brings it over to me. And to be honest, I think it was this young lady. Absolutely gorgeous. So once again, they all started out looking like that. And then she comes back looking like this. I mean, just layers, lace, little beads on her, just absolutely adorable. So this fabric here, this one is out of the Smitten collection. It's a Moda fabric that's here in the shop. This with the buttons, which was very antique-y. I loved it. This came out of Flea Market Mix by Kathy Holden. And then I'm sure mom probably just had some lace. But this is what she brought to me. I was in tears. She went above and beyond anything that I had thought for these skirts. So since she was so adorable, I was like, Mom, I'm going to need you to do the other two. So I copped out. I didn't even do one. So the next one that I wanted, this pink one, I already knew we was having this lovely collection of Rue 1800 fabric that had came into the shop in the spring. And it's one of my favorite collections because once again, I love something old, vintage looking with the flowers and of course pinks. Hello. So that's how that fabric happened. So I told Mom, I was like, you've got to pick one of those fabrics for this dress. So we went shopping in SewEndipitous, and we got some fabrics, and this was how my second little girl came out. And she's just adorable. I have not named them yet. They've got to get names, but my mom did amazing work. So, of course, she took the third one, and the third one having a green top, we wanted to do something a little more modern, I think, with her, was kind of mom's thought process. So she ended up taking some fabric out of the Bada Bing collection that we have here in the shop. It is also Moda. The cool thing is, when she brings this back to me, she was explaining to me that back in the day, a lot of dresses would have a little pocket that was called a thimble pocket. And so mom created this thimble pocket, if you will, on this girl's dress. My mom bought me a thimble when she was over in Germany a couple years ago. So our Germany thimble lives in the pocket of this beautiful lady. But once again, we've got ribbons and we've got beads. It's just simply adorable. So I could not wait to share this with you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I would love to see projects that you guys maybe have picked up from a family member or friend that was a quilter that has passed away, that you chose to bring home and refinish, or maybe it was something that you found at an auction or the Goodwill, something that you saved from a quilty friend. Please drop me a message, some pictures maybe on our Facebook, or email me. I would love, 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 love to see those things. I do have a couple more of these projects that I'm going to bring to you in due time that has come from a estate sale. But for now, I think I'm going to absolutely probably end up naming one of these fine ladies Sherry. One of them will probably be named Sue, after my mother. And of course, one of them will probably have to be Lisa Renee, right? Anyway, the girl's off to the ball. If you would love to look at some of these fabrics out of the Rue 1800 collection, the Bada Bing collection, or even the flea market mix, there will be links below. You can do that. As always, guys, I am so thankful that you take the time to watch the videos, share in some of my thoughts and feelings, whether I'm talking about a collection, a pattern I've done, or something that I have just saved from being thrown away and made new again. I love you. I mean it. And remember, here at SewEndipitous, it's all about the unexpected happiness that is found in every thread. Love you guys. Until next time.